Alright, here we are, 2024 Gsx-s1000, first full tire. Got to exchange a back tire already. 5,000 miles almost. It's at 4,600 on the dot right now. If you look at that screen, on the money. Just talk about the bike a little bit, man. I've had it for 5 months, maybe 6 months, 6 months, somewhere around there. Almost a half a year review. We'll talk about pros and cons. Bunch of little birds. Right now I'm on the way to the shop right now to go get the tires swapped out. So I thought this would be a perfect time. Almost a 5,000 mile review. So we'll get into it, man. So when I was first looking, I actually wanted a ZX-10. Them bikes are a machine, and everybody knows it. Everybody wants one. ZX-10 is like the affordable S1K, right? Agree or disagree, right? Everybody wants a ZX-10 or S1K. Overhyped. And then of course everybody really wants the H2. Who doesn't want an H2, right? But me, not a big fan of the S1K. They are beautiful machines, but I feel like they're also overhyped. ZX-10s, I just think they just run the 1000cc and 600cc motorcycles. To me, I feel like you just can't get better. I'm not saying there ain't better bikes out there, but just power plant wise and the price tag on them and everything you get in a ZX-10, and they just run, right? They just move. So I was looking for one of those and could never find one. Sure the heck wasn't buying used, because we see all over the internet of why not to buy a used one. Not to hate on y'all, but at the same time, I just don't trust buying used because of some of y'all. And I just didn't want to take that risk. So I went to a shop and they had a Gsx-s 1000. They had an R and an RR. And I'm just sitting there thinking about it. I'm like, you know what? Like, I like Suzuki as well. So we'll go with the Gsx-s. Went up to this spot, looked at it. I almost said, you know what, let's do it. But I kept looking at it, and I'm like, you know what, I'm just not fully happy with that one because of the color. If I want to spend that money, I want the one that I want. So I'm just not a big maroon guy. Yeah, you can go out, change the color, paint it, wrap it, whatever you want to do, but I don't know, I didn't feel like doing that. I just wanted a bike that I feel like I was more happy about buying. But then they had this thing, Suzuki's naked bike version of the 1000. It has the K5 motor in it, which was one of the power plants from the, I want to say 2006 to, man, I can't remember when they changed it up, but it's one of Suzuki's most lovable motors, really. So they said, you know what, let's bring it back and throw it in a naked bike. Now, I was looking at them and, you know, seeing everything about naked bikes, I'm just like, man, I don't know. But the more I sat on it, looked at it, I'm just like, man, this just feels right. It fit me. It's nice. I just feel much more comfortable on this bike instead of in an aggressive look all the time, right? You got that upright position when you want to relax. And then, I mean, if you want to get down on it, trust me, this thing has plenty of power, but we'll get to that. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to roll with it. I want to get this one. Screw it. It's blue. That's what I more wanted. If I got the Gsx-s, the Gsx-s 1000, right? I wanted a blue, black, or maybe white, or that gray that they have. Beautiful bike, but just all maroon or red, whatever you want to call it. I'm just, man, beautiful bike, but it just wasn't me. So I took this home. And got on it and started, of course, riding it a lot. As you see, 4,600 miles on it. But so I think I have a nice fair little review. The older Gsxers, the Gsx-s1000, not a fan of. Most naked bikes, to me, they just don't look good. To me, they almost all look the same, but just have their own little difference in it, and it's pretty much the headlight, right? Well, Suzuki decided to change it up in 24. Their last year model, I think when they brought into 2017 all the way until 23, it just, to me, it was just, nah, no, right? And finally someone said, man, we need to make this thing look more aggressive. And they did. They changed the game. And now finally Kawasaki's doing it with the ZX. Or sorry, with the Z, not the ZX, with the Z. I will say Ducati has a very nice one, and so does BMW has a really nice one too. I will give them that too. BMW is very good about making a bike just look beautiful. Very nice artwork on it, man. That is some artwork on them bikes. So I was like, you know what, out of naked bikes and everything, this bike, just, I love it. So took it home. Nice thing about it is, even out the door, I think I paid 12, just a little over 12 out the door. It still came with auto blip, which means, for the people that don't know, that means you can downshift without a clutch. And it also has a quick shifter, which means I can shift up without a clutch. Look, see? And also downshift. Very nice. One of the most, I love it, right? And the 600s and stuff like that, I don't think it came out in the 24. I have a buddy that has a 600 and he says his don't have it, but I don't know, maybe it was a package thing, maybe you could. I didn't really look into it, but with all the bells and whistles that it did come with for 12 out the door, I'm like, dude, hell yeah. So I took it, and you're getting 1,000. I love this thing. I promise you, Suzuki, you did a fantastic job on this naked bike. I wasn't a big fan of y'all's last model, but this one, dude, y'all got, I love it. Plenty of torque, of course, and it has, it's got the power. It's got the power. It's got the speed. A lot of people look at it and think, oh man, that bike ain't that fast. No, it moves. It moves. And so it's like a sleeper of bikes, man. This thing is fun. I bet it's almost like the ZH2. I bet that thing is insane. So the pros of it is, even for a naked bike, it's still got plenty of torque. It will get away from you. It is a wheelie machine. I can't do a wheelie right now because my tire is showing cord. That's why we're going to go get some tires. So I absolutely love this thing. I think it's a well-balanced bike. You can maneuver it very easily. I feel like it's very light. I mean, it's if you compare it to naked bikes, I will say it feels heavy. But at the same time, I feel like that weight is just well balanced. I feel like this bike is well balanced. It feels very nice to me. Anyways, I have taken a 5-hour road trip on this thing, all the way from DFW, Fort Worth, I will say just Fort Worth, all the way to West Texas, which is Odessa, Texas. It took me a minute to get there, and a lot of people always complain that naked bikes get a lot more wind. Yes and no, really. When I took that trip, it was not bad at all. And another great thing is I didn't have to keep making stops, my back hurting or something like that. I felt very comfortable. I mean, probably not as comfortable as I would have been on a Harley or some type of cruiser, maybe. I never really drove one, Harley or type of cruiser. But on this bike, all the way from there, from Dallas or Fort Worth all the way to Odessa, I got there and still went out with friends and rode. And the next day we did the same thing. I was not tired of this bike at all. I was very comfortable. You can move around on this thing and just feel comfortable. Upright. You want to get some speed, man, just get up. You know, do what you need to. This bike gets there, I promise you. And so making that trip actually made me realize, like, hey, this thing is actually, I'm glad I actually went with this option. Very nice. Very nice. Now some downside, yeah. That's a nice bike. The MOMTs, man, that's another bike that went a little different with their naked bikes, but they've been more in the game, Yamaha. Now some downsides, right? Yeah, you don't get a windshield. It's not a full fairing bike. To me, the wind thing does not bother me. To me, I really don't feel a major difference. I feel like it didn't whip me around like I thought it would, like a lot of people say. But I feel like this bike might be a little bit more aerodynamic than maybe some of the other ones. I don't know. But to me, it didn't really bother me. But I mean, you do get a little wind. But to me, it's not as much as I was expected. So I think that's why a lot of people move away from naked bikes. I promise you, it's not that big of a difference, or unless if you are doing 200 miles an hour, maybe that's a difference. But I mean, shoot, I've gotten this thing to 165 and I still felt planted. So I mean, I felt pretty confident still on the bike. But let's talk about some downsides, right? What's some downsides? Let's talk about the body first. Them goofy mirrors that they throw on these things, it just kills a freaking vibe on this thing, man. Looking like Dumbo ears on this bike. Like, what is this? I felt like they took some mirrors off of a what would you call that, like a moped or something, and just slapped it on here. It's like, dude, oh my god. I feel like Suzuki, a bunch of y'all need to figure out a better way to make mirrors look better on those bikes. I bought the Rizomas. I love these things. They look good, and I'm not saying you have to throw Rizomas on there, because good god, I mean, yes, they are expensive. But I took the hit with them, and I freaking love these things. Much more aggressive. You can flip them. For the people that don't know, you can flip them like this, flip them up. Much more aggression look. They don't look goofy. They don't look goofy, you know, looking like Dumbo going around down the highway, just killing the vibe. Maybe some end mirrors or something that y'all can come up with that makes just don't look as goofy. Come on. Another little downside, to me, in some RPM range, which I mean you probably feel that on most bikes, is the vibration in the pegs. Not too bad, but there is vibration. The quick shifter, the shifting, to me, I mean, it's not terrible, right? It might not be as smooth as some of your high-end bikes, but it's still there. I think it's still pretty nice, right? I think this bike is still pretty easy to find neutral in. Not bad at all. I mean, it's pretty easy. I mean, a lot of people spend days trying to find neutral in that sucker on any bike, right? So, but really, I mean, this thing, if I was to say, man, if y'all want to spend, if you're on a very budget but still want to get on two wheels, and you can handle a 1000 and handle the torque and stuff like that, dude, this bike is amazing. Okay, like, if you really don't want to get too, if you're on a budget, or if you're just looking into getting naked bikes, or shoot, I even think this is a good setup bike for a stunt. I mean, some people don't like doing 1000s, I get it, right? Go with the 600s or something like that, but still, I think you can still do this with that bike. I like it. It's got plenty of power. Plenty of power. What are some other things I don't like? One thing I don't like is, I mean, I think on most bikes, or unless if they're the higher end bikes, I wish they would go with some better tires that don't just last 4,000 miles or 5,000 miles. A lot of people think I might be doing burnouts. I always see videos of burnouts just going fail, so I get scared, right? I get a little nervous, or less if I feel in a nice little spot of doing a burnout or something. But I've maybe done one on this bike, and it was just like a quick little one. But man, I feel like these tires went out real quick. But I mean, I don't know. 4,600 miles ain't bad on a bike tire, I guess. Going around in corners and stuff, people probably wonder, how does it feel going around corners? Dude, I feel good going in a corner with this thing. I feel like it does very good in a corner. I don't feel like you have problems. I feel like you feel planted and can go with it, just like a regular super sport bike. You know, whether you're on a Gsx-s 1000 or something like that, I feel like you can still cut it pretty good. Still feels nice. Still feels nice. I will